Hey all my Crimsonites, and welcome to the Crimson Cure channel, where we embrace our femininity, increase our womanly value, and celebrate our brothers. So join me on our feminine journey to learn, heal, and grow. Hello everyone. How's everybody doing? Hopefully everybody's doing okay. You all good? We are going to thank you, Frederick, for kicking off the contributions. I really appreciate it. We have got a case study, if you will, for us today. The case study is a black woman that is actually from Chicago who ended up going and moving to Ghana. And she's being interviewed by another young black lady about her experiences in Ghana and how she's adjusting or not adjusting to life in a completely different culture. And the reason why I named it Black Women Are the Problem Part 2 is because black women don't think they are the issue. You the issue. You the issue. Are you every issue all the time? No. But you're more of an issue than you think you are. And to be more specific about it, it's your mentality and your mindset that causes you the most grief, and it causes you the most issue in your life. The way you go about things, the way you view things, the way you carry situations, the way you carry yourself, the way you carry relationships, the way you interact with people, in general, the way you view the world is off. It's off, and it's problematic, and it's dysfunctional. And nothing highlights it more than a woman who subscribes to all of these gynocentric kinds of thoughts and putting her in a situation and in a culture that doesn't cater to that. Then it starts being real evident that you stick out like a sore thumb. Thank you, Too Tall. Then it starts to become noticeable and very glaring that you're the dysfunction. So we're going to take a look at this video. We're not going to play the entire thing. It's more than an hour. But we are going to go through a couple of key points. And I want to really impress upon the audience today about the importance of the 10 life value as a system and the detriment of the lost value system. Okay? So we're going to start the video pretty much at the beginning, where she's being asked why she even went to Ghana, and we're gonna examine these answers that she's giving. Okay? So let me go ahead and share. And we're gonna start right here.
Everybody's moving to Ghana, so what made you move?
Yeah. Well, I've always wanted to move out of America, for one. I don't particularly think I would have chose Ghana if it wasn't for my child. My child was taken to Ghana and never returned when he was about 3 years old, and he's 12 now. So essentially, that's why I moved to Ghana, because his father wouldn't bring him back, and so I came here to be with my child.
So his father is Ghanaian, I'm assuming.
Yes.
Yeah. Okay. So about a year and a half ago, you moved to Ghana?
Mm-hmm.
All right. So how was that? How did you make I mean, I know having a child somewhere else, that's a given. It doesn't take much to make a decision to go ahead and move. But what did you do to prepare yourself to move to Ghana?
So for me personally, as aware of the challenges in America and the racism and all that, blase, it was very difficult for me to pack up everything and move. It took me years, actually. I initially decided that I was going to move in about 2014, 2015. But it took me until January 2021 to actually move.
Yeah.
Now, we're going to stop right here, and we're going to, let me come away from that for a moment, and we're going to just sort of examine what she said. Thank you, JBA. Said both of these strags make me sick. Thank you, Lil Benny the Cut Man. Thank you so much. Okay. So this may or may not have been a green card type marriage, okay? Just based on some of the stuff that she's going to say, it might have been a situation where we get married, I get my green card, basically dual citizenship, so that I can move back and forth from Ghana to America when I need to. They had a child within the confine of that marriage. And at some point, she's saying when the child was 3, the father decided that the child was going to come back with him to his home country, and be raised as a Ghanaian rather than be raised as an American. So in order to be in the child's life, she needed to come to Ghana, because as he was going back and forth, he would not bring the child with him, so she's saying. So it took her about 9 years. She said the baby was taken when he was 3. He's 12 now. She's only been there about a year. So it took her about 8 or 9 years or so to come to the conclusion that she needed to move, and then to actually make the move. Now, we can assume, probably rightly, that for the most part, it was finances, because you need quite a little bit of money and you need planning in order to make such a move. Okay? You're gonna need somebody to help you with the logistics. You're going to need to have your passport and your things like that in order so that you can come to Ghana. You're going to have to establish some sort of communication with the father to know where he is, so that you can make your move accordingly, so that you can live nearby, so that it won't be so out of the way, like, you don't know, because you don't know the lay of the land. You don't want to be somewhere living and it's way away from your child, which makes it's still difficult to be in your child's life. The fact that he was able to take the child away from you in an American setting where you had the child in America, I'm assuming, and he was able to, as an immigrant, tell the court that she's not eligible as a mother, and I would assume get full custody, because she didn't say he kidnapped the child. Thank you, Norrin. She didn't say he kidnapped the baby. She said he brought the child to Ghana, back to Ghana with him. She didn't use the word kidnap. So this does not appear to be some sort of illegal move that he made. Seemed to me like he was able to go before an American court of law, and the court sided with him rather than her. And he got full custody, and as the full custodial parent, he made a unilateral decision to move to Ghana. Not unlike, before we all start feeling sorry for her, before we all start crying tears of blood for her, poor her, how many men have gotten alienated from their child's life just here in the States, in the same city? How many times has a woman had full custodial right over a child? She's the custodial parent. She's got full custody, and she just up and moved to another city. Don't tell him nothing. The father don't know where his kids is. Don't know, but he still gotta pay. Still gotta pay child support and all of this type of stuff. He don't know where those he don't know where them payments is going or nothing. So we're not going to cry any tears of blood today, because a whole lot of black men can tell this story in one iteration or another. Okay? Because funny how we can see how devastating it is when it's a woman having her child taken from her custody. And then we can be like, oh man, you know, he took the kid. Yeah, he did. Welcome to the world of black men. So she the one that had to make the sacrifice to move to a different country where there would be a different culture. Okay? She will have to adjust to a completely different way in which these men and these people in Ghana live their lives every day. So she didn't have her stuff together, which is why it took her so long to manage that move. Because I can understand as a woman it being daunting to make a lot of moves, because you have to do a lot of logistics. It's a lot of, here's why it's difficult. Because the thing you really got to think about as a woman making that type of move is the thing that women aren't good at. She's got to be good at number 6, mobility. So when we say mobility, she's got to be able to think about 1 through 10 in an external way. She's got to be able to conceptualize the place that she's trying to move to from an external point of view. To think about spirituality not in an abstract way, but in a concrete way. Where are the places of worship? To think about health not in an abstract way, but in a concrete way. How far do I have to walk? What's the food quality? How do I get food? How do I manage my health? I'm going to have to start thinking about vaccinations, things of that nature because of the environment I'm coming from. To come to their environment, I may have pathogens inside of me that once I cross their border to live, I may be required to go through physical exams, things of that nature. They're checking me out. I have to maybe bring immunization papers and health papers from America. They're going to cross-reference them. They're going to give me, you know what I'm saying? I may get sick as I physically acclimate to this environment. Or I may feel real good as I physically acclimate to this environment. She's got to think about her family. She's moving there to see her child. Where is he? He's growing up Ghanaian. So he don't have a lot in common with her culturally. Has she even been in contact enough with her child for him to really respect and know her as his mom? Because it's apparent that the man doesn't want her. So their relationship, in terms of being a romantic relationship, seemed real non-existent. So this wasn't about moving to Ghana to be with him. This was about, if I want to see my kid at any point before they're an adult, I need to move to Ghana. Okay? So mobility is something that women typically are not very good at. And she would have had to think of all of that stuff, especially if she didn't have a man to cover her or to help her plan. I don't know how much help she did or didn't get from the father. I don't know what information he did or didn't give her or whatever, right? So we have to have active listening to what we actually hearing here, but we haven't gotten to the good part. Let me share again.
Yeah.
My son was taken in 2013. I realized he wasn't coming back. His father would come back and because he had a green card from our marriage, so he would come back to, I guess they had to come back like every year to renew it or something, or to make sure that it's current or something. And he wouldn't bring my baby back with him. So I was like, okay, so this is what's happening. I have to move. And I was terrified. I was just absolutely terrified. So I think the first thing, you just got to get over that fear. You got to really, like for me, I made it a goal. I said, okay, moving is so overwhelming. Let me chop it up in little pieces. What's the first thing I got to do to move? Sell everything I have. Second thing, close all my bank accounts, get my finances in order. I really wanted to maintain my.
So she's basically telling us it took her this long because she didn't have things in order. Let me fast forward real quick because the next question is going to be about her experience. She's going to start talking about her experiences.
And it's really hard for me personally to assimilate into the Ghanaian culture because I just, a lot of things about the culture I don't respect, like the small talk. It's just a lot of small talk in it.
A lot of small talk. A lot of small talk.
Girl, it is so exhausting and it's unnecessary to me. Like I'm all about energy. Energy is currency. So like if it, you know, if I'm extending like energy and it's unnecessary to me, I just can't respect it. And then other things, it's about the culture. It's such a formal culture, but it's like British formal. So I don't respect that. You want to be just like your colonizers. I don't respect that. So it's really hard for me to assimilate into Ghanaian culture. It just is.
She said a whole lot. And I don't know that she actually know what she said. I don't know that she actually knows what she said. She said that it's hard for her to assimilate into Ghanaian culture because she doesn't respect it. Your son, Ghanaian. Your son is Ghanaian not only by virtue of his blood, but by culture. Then she said something that was real ironic. First she talked about, oh, it's a lot of small talk, you know, blah, 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 blah. Now I'm gonna tell you why it was problematic for her. Being from Chicago, I'm gonna give you a little tidbit for those who are not in Chicago. This may be something universal across America, across the hoods of America. We don't like small talk. We don't like small talk. We really don't. All of that going everywhere, chitter chatter, talking to everybody, and get everybody that you meet, you smiling and talking to them. We don't like that. We don't like it because in Chicago, that'll get you dealt with. If you don't know what hood you in and you talking, that's problematic. That could be real problematic for you. So we learn that if it's not people we accustomed to, you keep your small talk to a minimum. Hey, how you doing? You know, and you keep it moving because you don't know what people are on. People from Chicago is crazy. So anything that you say could be construed as insulting. Mess around and say the wrong thing. You mess around and say the wrong name. Now you in trouble. So we learn to say hi and bye. Hi, bye. Good morning, good morning. You know, we not getting into all of this chitter chatter about where I'm from and who this is and oh, well, this is my brother. No. We not doing none of that because we don't trust one another. We know that there are those of us who's on the foolishness, so we don't trust you with information. Any information that could be personal identification, PII, personally identifying information. We do not give that. What block I'm on? No, we don't talk about none of that. So that's what she's saying. She's saying from the environment she come from, small talk is problematic. But you're not in Chicago. And that's the issue. You're not in Chicago. You're in Ghana. And they don't have that same issue that you have walking around the south side of Chicago. They have small talk over there, apparently. They want to know who you are. They want to know what your support system is looking like. They want to know, are you a person that is attached? Or do you belong anywhere? Or are you just one of these free-flowing, freestanding chicks that we don't need to respect? Okay? Here's the other thing that she said. That it's formal, but it's British formal. And she doesn't respect it because they want to be like they colonizer. If that ain't the most ironic statement coming from an American black woman that I have ever heard in my life. This woman is clearly a feminist. What kind of system do she think she got? You traveling around here with the lost value system in your back pocket. It's in your purse. It's stuffed in your shoe. And worst of all, it's in your head. If that ain't the colonizer system, I don't know what is. You literally walking around with a colonizer's mind. You literally walking around with feminism as a value system that you trying to live by in a place that don't respect that. And you trying to figure out why you having problems when you done went to a place, you got that them same colonizers that you are accusing the Ghanaians of patterning after, you done patterned your whole life after that. Where do we think feminism came from? Where do we think that even came from? I'm gonna fast. Y'all haven't seen this one in a while. Down at the bottom, in the pink and the white, it say the system of white supremacy, social programming, social policy, and social institution. Then it say the system of feminism, social programming, social policy, and social institutions. They replace our value system with BS. Why am I looking at this? Because that is the birthplace of that woke feminist crap that you got residing inside of you. That come from white survivalism. That's where that come from. You got his mentality all up and through your blood system. Every decision that you make has come from that. They have been horrible decisions, by the way. Thank you again, Too Tall. Horrible decisions that you've been making. I found that to be one of the most ironic and ridiculous statements made in the entire video. This woman does not have good belonging market value. And as she speaks, she's going to actually tell you this. But I found that to be crazy. Here you are running around with a value system that was given to you by colonizers, that was given to you by a group of people that saw little to no value in you beyond being a living, breathing farm equipment piece. After you no longer served them in that capacity, there was no value attached to you or your life or anything else that was going on with you. And we as black people have been so discombobulated since that time that it is not even funny. We run around here and we destroy ourselves at every chance that we get, every turn. We do not value ourselves. We do not value each other. We do not value our neighborhoods. We do not value anything that's been going on around us. Because when you go to these hoods and you go to these ghettos and all you see is trash on the ground, grass that's unkempt, buildings falling down, graffiti everywhere, it smells, it stinks, it's dirty, it's not a good place to live. It's not even a good place to look at. You know where you done ran into a bunch of black people in any city because it get the looking run down. And I'm sorry, it is what it is. And we'll get right in front of a place that we live and throw litter and trash and all of that type of stuff. And then when we go to where white folk live and they nice neighborhoods, we be doggone the better throw anything on the ground. We want to respect it because we value them, but we don't value us. Somebody talk to me today. And this is the value system that we were given. This is what got replaced. This is why they don't want black people moving around them. Why do you think white neighborhoods that are a little bit affluent, not the trailer park, they don't care who move over there, but when it be white neighborhoods and they be owning their homes and stuff like that, They don't want black people over there. I don't care what kind of little money you call yourself got. You call yourself can afford to live over here. It is cloaked in racism. Yeah, they don't like you because you black and all that kind of stuff. But more important to them, what black people don't understand is that we know what kind of value system we gave them. And we don't want them infecting us with that value system because it's destructive. We know it's destructive. They destroy themselves. They're going to bring that same mentality over here. Unfortunately, there's a part of that that's correct. Just look at historically these places that used to be white that are now associated with being black. Compton. Compton was a neighborhood that used to be white. It is now associated with Bloods, Crips, gang activity. Black people not. When you think of Compton nowadays, if you're not from there and stuff like that, you think of a place that you don't even want to pass through. Like, I wouldn't want to be caught in Compton. That is a hood that I don't know. And I don't even like the hood I know. I don't even like being over here in Chicago hoods. So I know I'm not going to want to go to another city and visit their hood. So I thought that was real ridiculous that she would sit up there and say the colonizers might. Girl, if you don't knock it off, there's nothing more colonized than the American black woman's mind in 2022. Thank you, Paul Bunyan said after civil rights, they gave our women feminism, welfare, and debt degrees to keep our families divided. Exactly. And black women bought into that hook, line, and sinker. We still suffering from it because you don't want to change the colonizer's program that he gave you, that you put you on. You've been on a colonizer's mission since the first wave of feminism back in the late 1800s. The reason why them white folk in Compton, back when Compton was white, didn't want black people over there, yes, because it was racist, but also because they got a value system. We don't rock with them. They're going to get over here in mass and they're going to start enacting the lost value system that we gave them. And they're going to drive everything in the ground. And then what happened? That's why they don't want you. That's why when they gentrify, they move you out. That's why when they get ready to gentrify hoods, they put you out of them. They don't come and just fix the hood up and then you stay there, because they know you ain't gonna 10 years after they do that, it's gonna be back in the same condition. They already know. So they get you out so that the gentrification and the millions or billions of dollars that they put in rehabbing that whole entire hood don't go to waste underneath your enacting of a lost value system that they gave you. It crippled us, and they don't want us infecting them with it. That's why they put us in the hood. It's a quarantine. Y'all ain't hearing me today. You're not supposed to come out of the quarantine zone. The lost value system is an outbreak. It's an epidemic. Okay? The hoods and stuff like that, the projects and all of that, that is a quarantine zone. You sick. Thank you, Doran. You sick. We sick as a people. I know I'm supposed to be going to break. I'm supposed to been on break. But we sick, y'all. And they know it. We like lepers. Because that lost value system, aka the American nightmare, is contagious. It's contagious. Let me go on to commercial break, and we will be right back to deal with this. So after these messages, we'll be right back.
See, wherever I go, stay ready, stay alert, always prepared for whatever. I'll see you. Here's a seat right here. You can see from all angles. I'm ready. It's time to get down to business. Game time.
Hi, honey. I know you just made it to the library, but love of my life, my hero, my lion, you forgot your A game. So come home, take it, and then you can go and conquer the world, black man. Oh, and one more thing. Would it kill you to just wear some socks? I'm just saying. Love you. And can you bring home some milk?
Oh, man. She be killing me. Okay, I'll go back. I'm gonna get my A game. I'm not putting them socks on. I'm good. I'm fly. I'm fresh. I'm gonna stop at 7-Eleven and get some milk.
So we got 400 wonderful people who've already hit the like button. So I owe y'all, bam, 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 bam. You gotta hit the like button, bam, bam. You gotta, So we need the other, almost 400 people to hit the like button for us. And this is what I'm talking about, because somebody put something interesting in the chat. Thank you, David D. So you preaching today, sis. Thank you so much. Fly Park said, Crimson, that's on us as black people. We need to clean our neighborhoods up and take pride in our communities. It's sad. And it is sad. And I agree with you. But the reason why we don't do that is because we operating in this value system. That's why. That's why we can't do it. That's why, see, that's what being on, I'm not even going to go. We might have to go over time because there's some things I need to say. We don't go around and pick up, because you know what? We not taking pride in a place where we don't own the homes. We not taking pride in a place where none of the businesses are owned by black people. The corner store is owned by the Arabs. The beauty supply stores is owned by the Koreans. The grocery stores is owned by the Yahud. And the only and even the clothing stores, the shoe stores and stuff like that, that's owned by the Palestinians, the Iranians, Jordanians. So when we get mad and we riot, we burn the neighborhood down that we live in. And the reason that we say as a justification to it is because I live here, but it don't benefit me none. I don't own nothing over here. I don't have any investment in it. So I don't take no pride in it. The economy that is circulating in this hood don't benefit us. Now, is that our issue? Yes. But it's our issue because we have not implemented a value system that would be conducive and constructive for us. We got a value system. It's just destructive to us. The Arab can come into a black neighborhood, call themselves Muslim, and sell you alcohol and pork and not bat an eyelash, because regardless of the fact that he came to your neighborhood to do that, his his value system for his people is totally different. He would never sell that in his neighborhood. He would never sell that to his friends and family and the people that is around him and the people he belonged to. He would never do that. He would never do that. He come do it to you because he don't value you. You understand? The Korean come sell you bundles, eyelashes, nails, be condescending in the store, follow you around, all of this foolishness, body slam you, all of that kind of stuff. Would never do that in their neighborhood ever. Because they value their own. They just don't value you. We're gonna go back to this video.
The safest by far for single Black women. Safest country in. Okay, so on one hand, this is the safest country in Africa, one of the safest by far for single Black women. I feel completely confident walking the street by myself at night, going places by myself, like solo dolo, completely confident. On another hand, there is a deep-seated hatred for women, especially women who are more like well off, or like perceived to be more well off than the average Ghanaian man. I don't even think a lot of Ghanaian men are aware of that deep-seated hatred. It's misogyny. It's a lot of misogyny that's rampant here. The male patriarchy like system is low-key toxic as hell to Ghanaian women.
Key.
So
High key.
Yeah, high key.
Let's go on and call it.
Okay, so let's go over this little list that she put down. Okay, she's saying on the one hand, Ghana is one of the safest countries in Africa for a single Black female. She says that she feel free to move about the country on her own, as she say, it's solo dolo. She's okay with that. She's fine with that. But on the other hand, it's misogynistic and the patriarchy there, you know what I'm saying, it's toxic. Now, we all know what hyenas mean when they say that a patriarchy is toxic. They mean anything or any place or any system that operates that is male-centric and not gynocentric is toxic. Masculinity itself is toxic. The culture not catering to her and coddling to all of her dysfunctions and gynocentric thought patterns, that's all toxic. Not, you know what I'm saying, standing behind her in foolishness and all of this type of stuff, not automatically taking her word for it. It's not based in feminism. It's not based in none of this woke culture or none of that. She find that to be toxic. Thank you, BK Don. That's toxic to her. That's toxic to all hyenas. That doesn't mean that Ghana is toxic or the system that they have is inherently toxic. Now, every place got their issues. I've never been to Ghana, so I'm not in position to say what are the issues that would be not the cons, rather, of being in Ghana versus the pros. I've never been there. It's just that I know every place got cons. Every place got cons. No matter how awesome it is, every place got the downside to it. Okay? So I'm not so oblivious that I can't understand that. But at the same time, Black women who have this gynocentric mindset think that everything masculine is toxic. And when you don't vibe with all of the crap she got going on, it's something wrong with you, not something that she needs to reflect on. Thank you, Fly Parks, and thank you, Village Brothers. So how can it be safe and misogynistic too? Exactly. How I feel good about being able to go to different places, but I feel intimidated because the misogyny is quote unquote deeply rooted. See, she don't feel no problem in America where misandry is deeply rooted. Right? So what she's saying, because she already said she didn't respect their culture. So what she trying to tell everybody is that, listen, I am toxic. Okay? I'm toxic. I brought my American sensibilities, my gynocentric sensibilities, my feminist sensibilities to a different place. It has a different value system. Instead of me conforming to it, I think it should conform to me. And because I think my value system, my lost value system is superior to somebody else's value system that is the opposite of my lost value system. See, I'm free to move about, but I'm not free to act a fool. You understand what I'm saying? I'm free to move about the country, but I'm not free to have this, I'm going to tell you who going to check me, boo, what is you doing attitude. I'm not free. We're going to do overtime today. I'm sorry, because it's just too much to go through. I'm not going to get done with it in 10 minutes, and I'm just not going to cut it short because we have to talk about this. We're going to move it along.
We authentic first. But here it's considered, you're rude, you're a bitch, blah, 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 whatever. But anyway, so here's the real scoop. The real scoop is that...
Let's get the real scoop.
The Ghanaian men they feel so entitled to you. They will get offended if you don't talk to them, if you're not romantically interested in them. They feel entitled to all information about you. I've had so many Ghanaian men ask me, do I have a husband? Do I live alone? First of all, that's none of your fucking business. It's weird as hell when they ask me that. And then I get offended and they look at me like I'm the problem. Why the fuck are you asking me? You're an Uber driver. You're driving me somewhere. What makes you think that you even have a right? And it seems like they just don't give a fuck if you're interested in them or not. It's like that in the States, but
I was just about to ask. So, to give some kind of context, so here, we have the issue of you might be walking down the street, a dude try to holler at you or whatever, and you nah, I'm straight, and he might cut you out. He might get, in some cases, men have actually gotten physically violent with women because they rejected them.
Let me dissect that for a minute. Gotta come back to you guys. I'm gonna dissect that for a little minute here because we have to. It seemed weird to her because that's the new terminology. Men who are interested in you are weirdos, it's weird, and all of this type of foolishness. Men of other cultures, because those of you who may be Ghanaian, who might live there or who may have visited, thank you to real Miss Lou Casely. Somebody was impersonating Lou Casely, or what's going on? Anybody who has been to Ghana or lived in Ghana, y'all can tell me. Is it kind of like Nigeria where the population is almost 50-50? You're either Muslim or you're Christian. Whoever's in between, smaller percentage. Is it like that? I don't know if there's anybody in the chat that knows or can speak to that. But she took the American sensibility with her. She doesn't understand why they're asking her that. The men are trying to ascertain who you belong to. Are you a woman out here that's just footloose and fancy free with no covering? Do you have any men? Thank you, Miss Danica. Do you have any men that you belong to? A father, a husband, a brother, an uncle, anybody that can vouch for you? Anybody that can that I may have to go through to even talk to you? What they're really trying to understand is whether or not you are a woman to be valued and respected, or are you one of these 304s that I can just take advantage of because you don't have anybody, you don't have a support system, you're running around here not respectable, you're running around here not with a proper value system, you running around here like you kind of in your masculine energy and all of that type of stuff. Man, listen, we don't take you seriously because where your man at? Where your daddy? Where are the people that respect you? Oh, you don't got nobody? You moving around here like you don't got nobody? Oh, well then you are ripe for the picking then, aren't you? That's what they trying to ascertain. See, a Muslim woman that's practicing her deen, or a Christian woman that is about the Lord and moving the proper way, is not gonna have them kind of issues that she talking about. Because number one, we not going over there. No lioness, Christian, Muslim, or otherwise, is headed to Ghana without a man. We not headed to Ghana and nowhere else without the covering of a man. I'm not going over there to do nothing. And when I do go over there, I'm going to have a man. I'm going to figure out where the women are and what the women do. And I'm going to associate myself and ingratiate myself to the women. Because even the women will shun you if they think you're out here for these streets. They don't want you around their daddy. They don't want you around their husband. They don't want you around their brother. They don't want you around their uncle. They don't want you around their son. They don't want you around nobody. And they really don't want to be around you lest they be associated with you and your foolishness. See, she ain't trying to get caught up either and be not respected among her peers because of her associations with you. That would be belonging market value. She care about that. She care about that. So running around here all around the country, everybody is observing that there's never any man around. You're not consulting with anyone. You are free and independent. Oh, okay. So you just a woman that don't gotta be respected. Okay, got you. And then they proceed to not really respect you and not take you seriously. Who you gonna go to? You ain't got no man, you ain't got no support system. I ain't gotta deal with nobody. I'm dealing with you direct. And I might deal with you right or I might not. So she don't get that that's why she's being asked those questions. Should I be respecting you right now? If you carrying yourself like a lioness and you say, I have a husband. Oh, okay, sister. Mm-hmm. Because when they see me, I'm not going to always be solo dolo. I'm going to be with my husband. Thank you, Tanya. I'm going to be with my husband. And when we out, he going to be speaking for me. And that's something that a lot of American black women, that sounds so crazy to them. We go places, he going to speak for me. We all in these stores, we all in these places. You got to go through him. I don't even have an opinion. I don't even have an opinion right now. Act like I'm not here. You can't see me. You can't see me. I'm moving around here like a ghost. Even here in America. When we move around the Muslims and stuff like that, I go around and with my husband. I'm not interacting with these men at all. I'm not interacting with them at all. We happen to meet a bunch of Muslims, or we happen to be somewhere and a Muslim brother with his family or something like that. My husband was the first one to present Assalamu alaikum. Wa alaikum assalam. And I don't have nothing to say to them brothers. If he with his wife or some women, I say something to them. Assalamu alaikum, sister. Something like that. After that, same thing with any lioness in this chat room. I guarantee you, any one of these lionesses in this chat room is not gonna show up in Ghana, Bana, Lana, Tana, and nowhere else getting into no fight with no Uber driver. I guarantee. I guarantee you. Because we're not even carrying ourselves with that kind of energy. A confrontational spirit. We're not going nowhere on demon time. We're not going nowhere at all hours of the day, the night, here, there. Kikiing and teeing. Got something to say to all the men? No. We're going to go on to her Uber story.
So you've been verbally assaulted 4 or 5 times. Yeah. When you say verbally assaulted, what do you mean? Like, can you give me like typically since 4 or 5 times, typically what's happening?
I think it is a technique that they use. They believe that the average woman that they know, Ghanaian women, and I firmly believe that the average Ghanaian woman would fold under this type of pressure. They put pressure.
So the feminine women are weak. That's what she basically saying. The Ghanaian women are feminine. Therefore, they are weak. But since she's American, she not weak-minded like that.
Pressure on a woman. They raise their voice. They get all like, wow, blah, 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 blah. And they demand more money. I'm not a Ghanaian woman. I'm from Southside Chicago. So I'm like, fuck you. Like, I'm not giving you shit else. Like, I gave you what it was said to give. So like a week before I got physically assaulted last weekend, this taxi driver demanded that I pay him even though I never went on a ride with him. We were talking about it and I was like, how much? And he wouldn't say the price. And I'm like, well, I'm not gonna get in the car with you until you name the price. He was like, well, we'll see. I was like, okay, well, I just walk. And so I started walking away and he comes chasing me, demanding that I give him money because I guess his time. I don't know. But I was like, no, bro, like, I'm not giving you shit. I didn't get in a car. You didn't give me a ride. So why would you assume that I owe you money? Like, that you have a right. And I think that they feel like if they put enough pressure on a woman, if they like get physically, or not physically, but verbally like loud, then a woman's gonna fold. Be like, okay, here. Because that's what the average Ghanaian woman would do. I wouldn't do it. He got even more upset because he saw that I'm cussing him out back.
Now, we got a foul mouth. We got that masculine energy. I'm telling you, that's that Chicago energy right there. She brought the South Side to Ghana. And I'm not saying this as some type of proud thing. It's actually sad. She wasn't supposed to do that at all. At all. She didn't know how to make the adjustment from that hood mentality, that hood, I'm hardcore, I'm strong, I'm independent, I'm this, I'm that, F you, bruh, blah, blah, blah. Like that. That don't fly nowhere else. That don't fly nowhere else. Especially in a place that is male dominated, that is patriarchal, and that does not cater to gynocentric themes and thought patterns. She adopted only the outward appearance of a Ghanaian woman, but she did not adopt the value system. She's still rocking with this same system and wondering why. There is no way you supposed to be somewhere getting in the physical and or verbal altercations 4-5 times in the span of a year. That is you. That's you. Thank you, Ruminant says she doesn't even hear that the interactions are escalating. This is a small place and they are profiling her. They just about know how to handle her exactly. She doesn't realize that they're making they're making a certain set of assumptions and drawing a certain set of conclusions about who she is based on this, based on the valuable woman thing, her personal market value. You running around here unescorted. We don't never see you with no man. We don't never see you with no covering. Nobody's giving you their 4 Ps. None of that. Your belonging market value is trash. You don't have a support system. You don't have anything. You can't fall back on anything. You don't even have the good sense to fall back on. Your friendship market value, you don't want to do small talk. You don't want to assimilate into a culture that you moved to, that you're going to be here at minimum until your child is grown. They're already making assumptions about your sexual market value. You're loose. You are a woman of ill repute. And you certainly are not approachable for marriage. So she going to go ahead and start getting into her Uber story.
And then he starts pushing me. This is not the guy that physically assaulted me. I wouldn't even call this physical assaulting because he was just like literally pushing me. So me being a Chicago woman that I am, I look around for a weapon. I find a weapon and I'm like, what's up? Like, what's up? You wanna box? You wanna put your fucking hands on me? What's up then? So a crowd started gathering. Everybody was like, oh, how much do you owe him? How much do you owe him? And of course there's a language barrier there. So he's probably telling them whatever. I don't owe him shit. I didn't get in a fucking taxi with him. I don't owe him nothing. So anyway, nobody's like coming in between me and him at all. As soon as I pick up the weapon, everybody starts, getting kind of scared, like they want to grab the weapon from me.
Nobody's coming in between them because see, in America, they would. A man, no matter whether it was her fault or not, a man is going to take up for a woman. She can be hitting the man and nobody will jump. If that man jump back at her or hits her back or pushes her back or even so much as restrain her, then whoever's around going to jump into it. That's what she was looking for. That's not what she got. That's what she thinks is toxic and that's what she thinks is misogynistic.
I mean, like, try me. I will fight all of y'all. But anyway, he finally, and he said one thing. He said, you're crazy. Is this how you act in your country? Yup.
Yes.
Yup. This how I fucking act in my country. And this how I act here and anywhere. If anybody tries to fucking put their hands on me, what the fuck? So,
yeah.
That was one time. And then literally a week later to the day, I get physically assaulted by a guy who demanded more money. It's a long, long story, but he was being hella disrespectful. I think he was just really envious of me being an American. I'm talking. So anyway, I asked him to pull over because I don't want to finish the ride with him. He wouldn't turn on the radio. I'm like, the radio is way too loud. I'm talking. I can't even hear myself talk.
Thought you didn't like small talk. Thought we wasn't talking. I thought we wasn't talking, sis. See how it is? That it's that American thing. Be quiet. Finish the ride. If you want to have the music up, whatever. This ain't the first time. You from Chicago. This ain't the first time you done rode in a car with ridiculously loud music. And this is not your friend. This is a Uber drive. So just get where you going and be quiet. They asking you, do you act like this in your country? Because they're appalled at the masculinity. They're appalled. They can't believe that a woman has this foul mouth. They can't believe that you would pick up a weapon. They can't believe that you're trying to fight a man. They can't believe this stuff. This is ridiculous to them. It's ridiculous to them. You went over there and proved probably every American stereotype that they could have thought of. Anyway.
And he pulls over, I give him the money, and then he was like, well, I would have never took the ride if I knew it was gonna be such a short trip, so you owe me more money. Because I was expecting this to be so-and-so 62 CDs and it's only 24 CDs. So I'm like, I don't owe you shit. I just gave you what the fuck the ride was. Like, the fuck? Like, if you wanted to take me to Fort Place, and you should have turned down the radio like I asked you to. It was too fucking loud. It was all in my ear. I couldn't even hear myself talk. So anyway, he chased us and he tried to grab my purse. I was already in another car, in the back seat of another car. He tried to grab my purse and I snatched it away and he just started swinging. So I started swinging and I started kicking and I'm screaming for help. Everybody around is just looking, what happened? How much does she owe? Like, kind of like victim blaming, like, oh, she must have did something to get him this upset and all this other bullshit. And so he stayed around the taxi, circling the taxi, trying to get in a car. The taxi driver, the current taxi driver, he kept trying to open the door for him. Yeah. The guy took off his belt, tried to hit me with the metal part of the belt buckle. Yeah, it was crazy. And nobody around was helping me. Everybody was like, oh, how much did she owe you? They kept coming in the car like, oh man, money is nothing. Just give him some more money. I was like, no, I don't owe him shit. Like, the fuck? Like, I
didn't know Let me come back to y'all. Again, Black women in this mindset. You're your own worst problem. You're the problem. Thank you, Real Bravado Network. Said, thank you for talking to our Black women the way you do. I want us to start having successful outcomes together. It's big business having our women out of order. Thank you sincerely, one proud Black man. And thank you so much. Not knowing how to de-escalate an issue. You're not in Chicago. You're not in America. Don't nobody want to help you because you're masculine. Nobody's coming to rescue you. See, nobody was helping me. That was her issue. She said what her issue was. Nobody was helping me. Her issue wasn't that she was in this altercation. Her issue wasn't that in their eyes she's acting out of order. You paying American fees. You paying the foreigner fee is what's going on. And the reason why they keep hitting you with that is because you're the lick. And you're the lick because you don't have a man. You don't have a man in Ghana because you don't qualify. You don't qualify because you're not feminine enough. And you're not feminine enough because you have the colonizer's mindset, which keeps you masculine. You don't have sense enough to get under one of them men to be covered. Because I know after a year and a half, you've been over there trying to get some D. Let's call a spade a spade. You ain't been there and you don't plan on being there for X amount of years until your child turn 18, 19, 20. Assuming that you would have the funds to move back to America after the fact. You can't pay me to believe that you're going to be there without trying to get some D. See, they don't operate the same way over there that they do in America. See, they used to you being trash over here in America. See, you can go ahead and get you a Ray Ray and a Pookie because the Ray Rays and the Pookies got the same stupid value system you got. So, he ready to be like, oh, well, you need me to slide through. I'll be able to slide through. Yeah, I'll come, hook you up, take care. We ain't got to tell nobody, blah, blah, blah. See, that's what you can get in Chicago without no problem. And nobody's going to really judge you for it. Not really. Because we living in a lost value system. But when you go over there and wind get caught, see, you already ain't got a good look. You already ain't got no good look. So if wind get caught that you out here trying to solicit some D on the down low, oh, you're real problematic. You're real problematic, aren't you? Girl, you might get snatched up and nobody never see you no more. Because your child father ain't really into you like that because he left you in a whole different country. He didn't care what was going on with you on a day-to-day. So you can't pay me to believe he cares so much now about it. He care about his child. That's what he care about. Thank you, Methos. The same story over and over. Who's the common denominator? Exactly. So once you get there, see, you got to have sense enough to actually get married to a Ghanaian man. You got to get married to one of them. So you can have you some cover. You can't just slide around and you ain't going to be married, but you going to be able to slide around and get a little D here and there and ain't nobody going to say nothing. No. It don't work like that. She gonna keep getting several rude awakenings about how it don't work like that. I'm not even there, and I'm certain it don't work the same. I'm certain it's not the same dynamic. Now, you might be able to get a dude to slide through and give you some. I'm not saying that it ain't no dudes over there willing to do that, but who knows what it come with. Yeah, you can come over my house and get some D, and when you get over there, it be like 15 dudes lined up. Or you gonna service all of us, because that's who you are. Don't get scared. Don't get scared now. Don't get scared now. It ain't no authority to just go to or nothing like that. You here now, and you ain't leaving until all of us get serviced. Because we see you as the American whore. See, American black women don't understand that across the world, we're the concubines of the world. The world, Craig, the world. We the concubine of the world. People see us that way. People see, and you know why they see it? Put a 1 in the chat if you want to know why they see us that way. The reason why they see black women that way is social media. The things that black women put out on their own about themselves, twerking, busted challenges, this, that, and a third. That is the representation of what black women are about. They're about getting bust down. They're about sex. They're about promiscuity. They're about no values. They're about being whores. They like to be whores. They're super sexual. Not to mention they're American, so they're arrogant, so they're stupid, so they're not gonna understand no other culture other than their own. They dress real provocatively. They don't have any modesty. They don't have any type of anything feminine about them. They're ready to be whores. They Instagram models and booty shots and BBLs and everything that we, all of that. Thank you, Sari. Says shout out to my Africans in the chat. That is the representation of the American black woman to the world in general. And if you don't want to be part and parcel of that, then you can't move in other places like you be moving in America. Dr. Sherry just put it in the chat. She said, exactly, when I travel abroad, I'm concerned that the business people I'm with are thinking I'm like what they see on social media. And this is why it's so important to talk about the value system and no longer allow hyenas to run and rule the roost. And speak for us and represent us. That's what's wrong with it. See, without going back to the video, I gotta be able to give y'all clarity, okay? This is what they wanted. What they were expecting was for her to have at least 4 to 5 things going on with her. Number one, they expected her to have covering. Someone there that protects her. Someone there that's gonna give her 4 P's, okay? They expected that. She didn't have that. Strike number 1. Number 2, They expected her to have some concept of accountability. Who can vouch for you? Who are you accountable to? Who or what are you answerable to? She doesn't have any accountability. She doesn't feel that she needs any accountability. That's strike number 2. What else were they looking for her to have? They were looking for her to have a value system in place, because a proper value system would give her covering because it would teach her how to act. It would give her accountability because she's answerable to someone, but she didn't have any. She had a lost value system. And by comparison, the lost value system and the value system that is present in Ghana is not comparable. And 5th, as a bonus, her personally, that feminine versus masculine energy. They were looking to her to have femininity, and she didn't have it. See, she looked feminine, and this is the trick that black women like to play. They'll come out and they'll look feminine. They'll have on all of the trappings of womanhood and femininity, but upon discovery and upon talking and a little bit of digging, men realize she's not feminine, she's masculine. And that leads black women to be in situations where they are not respected. This is why you're not getting any respect. Thank you, Cerise. Says, sisters, you aren't Tomb Raider either. Cut it out. You run around. See, she got the hair wrap on and the little earrings on. She looked feminine when she opened her mouth. The way she's carrying herself. No femininity, no modesty, no etiquette. This is why the lionesses in this chat and within the sound of my voice wouldn't be having them issues abroad. Thank you once again, Norrin. We wouldn't be having these issues abroad because when we go, first of all, we're moving in relative silence. We're not somewhere loud and drawing unnecessary and undue attention. We have a value system that is based in spirituality. So therefore, our spiritual systems are going to inform how we are to interact with people. So none of the lionesses here in this chat are going to go any place and be all in the masculine energy, all in the video dancing. We're not going to do it because we understand we have a value system and it is well informed and it is well practiced. So the way we even move is going to garner respect. Lionesses are not going anywhere with a Magic City uniform on. Shout out to Pink Book Lessons. We're not going anywhere with a Magic City uniform on. So there's another layer of protection and respect that we can garner. We're not going places our cleavage is out, our midriff is out, our booty is showing, our breasts are showing. We're not doing that. I hope that black women have listened to this today. Please share this on your social media. This needs to be talked about. This needs to be discussed. Because we are not enacting a proper value system. We are not enacting the 10 life values at all. We are not embodying it and we are not projecting it. We're not projecting our spirituality. We're not projecting a good, positive view of our health, of family values, of appearance values, of dwelling values, of mobility. We're not having positive. We're not experiencing and living it positively, and we're not projecting it positively. Our education value, our profession, What are we doing? Our leisure. Where are we going? Who are we hanging with? Our wealth. We're not doing none of that. Thank you once again, Too Tall. Say, Kendra, this lady reminds me of the hyena in the Atlantic Public Park. Yeah, it's the same energy. It's the same energy. We've taken dysfunction to places that aren't dysfunctional and then wondering why we're having a problem because we think it's them. It's not. It's us. Anytime you carrying around a lost value system, it's you. It's you. It's not going to be received well nowhere else. Anyway, today's show was brought to you by A-Game. Okay, in order to be a part of the A-Game family, because you want to be a part of the A-Game family, because A-Game is the #1 support for men's overall health. 100% natural, no artificial ingredients, nothing like that. Just 21 awesome herbs to address a man's vitality, his energy, his strength, and his libido. So if you want to be part of the A-Game family, all you have to do is hit the link at the top of the chat at agameherbal.com. Don't forget your 10% discount using the code Kendra10 and have this product and this box of awesomeness delivered to you ASAP, okay? I also want to draw everyone's attention to the Black Lives Matter petition. We finally got over 5,000 signatures, so I'm super happy about that. The more signatures we get, the more that we can actually hold Black Lives Matter accountable for the $90 million theft that they did in 2020 and beyond. So if you want to be part of holding them accountable, please click the link for the petition. It should be in the chat if the mods put it in the chat for me. It is also in the description box. Please sign it, share it, and contribute to it if you can, okay? I'd like to thank all of the my contributors through Super Chat, through Cash App, through PayPal, everyone who hit the like button. And last but not least, I want to thank my support system and my support team, without which I cannot bring you any of this content. So a warm thank you to them. I'm going to go ahead and wrap this up, and I'll catch you guys on the next one. Bye-bye, Crimsonites. Hey, guys, please like, share, and subscribe to the channel and hit the notification bell. And if you've got more to say on the topic, leave a comment down below. Also, don't forget to support our sponsor, who so graciously supports this channel by clicking the description box and the link for A-Game at agameherbal.com. You can go ahead and get a 10% discount off of your next purchase using the code Kendra10. This has been yet another Crimson Cure production, and I'll catch you guys on the next one.